All right, here we go. Let's get into it. Pam Bondi was confirmed as Attorney General. There's so much winning going on. I can't handle it. I'm sure you guys are not tired of winning. We're only 3 weeks in. But Trump yesterday was at the National Prayer Breakfast, and one of Pam Bondi's first order of business is to head a task force to confront anti-Christian bias. Check this out, man.
Confront such weaponization and religious persecution. Today I'm signing an executive order to make our Attorney General, who's a great person, she's going to be a great Attorney General, Pam Bondi, the head of a task force, brand new, to eradicate anti-Christian bias. About time, right? Anti-Christian bias.
Yeah, this is absolutely long overdue. Christianity has been attacked for entirely too long, and it's about time it gets defended in this country. There should be a separation between church and state, and any bias toward any religion shouldn't be allowed in government. Remember when Biden decided to declare Easter Sunday as Trans Day of Visibility just last year, back in 2024? You have to ask yourself, why Easter Sunday? That was something that a lot of us were trying to figure out. Why Easter Sunday did they choose to place that day? And remember, the Catholic Charities thing, when they essentially told them, adopt out to same-sex couples or lose your funding, I'm sure you guys recall that. And do not get me started on school prayer. Let's not go down that path right now. Remember how under Biden, the Department of Education limited prayer in schools? Because apparently prayer is a bad thing. Yes, I mean, these people are insane, but the reality of it is that these people are anti-God. They are anti what a lot of us believe in. But anyway, if you've been wondering why there's so much winning going on, I don't know, but this seems like, a slightly different Trump to me. More focused, more focused on what's doing right or doing what's right. And I mean, think about all that this man has gone through or all that he's done, over the past 2 weeks. But if you've been wondering, maybe, hey, what's new, what's different about President Trump? Well, he made a few comments yesterday at the National Prayer Breakfast, a 70-year-old Washington tradition that brings together a group of lawmakers for fellowship. And the comments, in my opinion, were simply amazing. Now, Trump, a New York billionaire, what does he have to do with religion? Now, we do know his wife, is a Christian. It's been told that she goes to church on a week-to-week basis. That is something that we've been told. But honestly, I doubt that he was a person who gave religion much thought prior to getting into all of this. Although it has been told, again, that his wife, is a Christian, a practicing Christian, someone that actually goes to church on a week-to-week basis. I'm assuming when she has the opportunity to do so, especially, with how busy her schedule has been. But this man has been known for his business acumen, his brash style, not necessarily his spirituality. Now, again, people don't have to flaunt their spirituality in your face. To be honest with you, the word actually speaks against those types of people. Those people that do get out there and, pray, all in front of everybody to let it be known, like, hey, I am this and I'm doing this, watch me. But for Trump, surviving an assassination attempt, that will change you. And it seems like it changed him. It's like he's been given a second chance at life, a moment to reflect on what's truly important in life. And it seems like this life-altering event has brought him closer to his faith. Let's see what he had to say about this.
It changed something in me. I feel even stronger. I believed in God, but I feel much more strongly about it. Something happened. So thank you. Thank you.
And to be honest with you, how could it not change something in you? When you have a near-death experience like that, how can it not change you? Especially, I'm sure, when he went back and watched the replay and realized, how close Pastor Sewell, the pastor from up in the Detroit area, he called it a millimeter miracle. And that is absolutely 100% accurate, a millimeter miracle. He turned his head and the bullet nicked his ear, a millimeter miracle. That will do something to you, man. It will change you. He's either one of the luckiest people alive or it was divine intervention. Take your pick. Either fate or God has a plan that wasn't going to be thwarted that day. And me personally, I choose to believe that it was God. Now, again, I'm not saying that, President Trump is perfect. I'm not saying that everything that he says is right. I'm not saying that, everything that he has done in his life has been perfect or, 100% right or 100%, in line, with the faith. But what I do know is for those of you guys that do get into the word, that do read this, that has read this book for yourself, that God uses, man, every person that he used was imperfect. Not one person that was used to push his agenda was a perfect individual. Not one person. I mean, we could go down a list, we can go down a list, but I'm not going to do that today. This is not to preach or to have some form of sermon this morning with you guys. But I mean, there's countless examples of so many imperfect people, that God used to push his agenda to help save his people. And, it would not surprise me at all. And it does not surprise me, that he was saved. And then you look at what's been happening over the past, 3 weeks. I mean, it's almost like, honestly, for a man that's almost 80 years old, the energy that he has, I'm half his age and I don't even have that kind of energy. I'm just keeping it a buck. I'm half his age and I don't have that type of energy. And, what we're seeing, it's not really the Trump that we're used to hearing from. It isn't. There's a sense of vulnerability. There's a sense of gratitude. It seems like there's a newfound focus, on his faith that it wasn't apparent before. At least it wasn't in front of everybody. It wasn't something that he spoke on a lot earlier in his life, at least not publicly anyway. It's like the attempt on his life was a wake-up call, making him realize the power of faith, the importance of community, the importance of prayer. And perhaps, it's helping to guide some of his decisions, with his moral compass, today. And he's now more openly acknowledging that. And this transformation isn't just personal, it's political. It's about leading with values that resonate with many Americans across this country, especially those who feel that their faith has been under siege. I don't know about you guys, but a God-fearing president is what we need right now. Seriously. And knowing what we know, about his wife, people can say whatever they want to say about her. But what we do know, there's video, there's a lot of information out there about her, obviously bringing her son up, Barron, in the faith. So it doesn't surprise me that he's in the situation that he's in right now because, behind every good God-fearing man, there is definitely a strong God-fearing woman. And honestly, that's probably why things are going so well. Maybe when you believe in God, and something bigger than yourself, and you take a leader who thinks that as well, and then you elect him to lead a country founded on Christian principles, maybe this is what you get. And it's a whole heck of a lot of winning. And it's got a lot of people upset. It's got a lot of people frustrated, about what he's accomplished. But the thing is that he is one of the few people in office that has been elected, that has made promises, and we can actually see the promises that he's made come to fruition right before our eyes. He's one of the few people. There's not too many people that get elected, And we can see, hey, they ran on this and this is what they're doing. There's not too many people, man.
Jefferson himself once attended Sunday services held in the old House chamber on the very ground where I stand today. So there could be nothing more beautiful than for us to gather in this majestic place. It is majestic, and reaffirm that America is and will always be one nation under God. At every stage of the American story, our country has drawn hope and courage and inspiration from our trust in the Almighty. Deep in the soul of every patriot is the knowledge that God has a special plan and a glorious mission for America. And that plan is going to happen. It's going to happen. I hope it happens sooner rather than later. It's going to happen. And it's His hand that guides us every single step of the way. And all of you and the things we have to do is to see the defining role that faith and prayer have played in the life of our nation. And you just have to look at this building, and you can look at each other. You can really look at each other. It's defined almost everyone in this room. I think faith has been very strong with the people in this room.
Absolutely. And amen. It is, and it's always been one nation under God. Belief in something greater than ourselves has always been the cornerstone of American culture. Right from the founding fathers who spoke of divine providence to the everyday citizen who finds strength in their faith. You see, believing in something greater, and in this case, we're talking, about God, gives us a sense of purpose, unity, and moral direction. It's what has historically bound us together as a nation, providing a shared value system that transcends individual differences. And this belief has been integral in our identity, shaping our laws, our ethics, and our community spirit. Now, let's contrast this with what we're seeing from the left and what we have been seeing from the left. It seems like there's a growing trend where traditional beliefs are being sidelined or even mocked. And when you don't have that anchor of faith, you end up with this vacuum that gets filled with all sort of ideologies that don't necessarily align, with the foundational values of this country, that don't necessarily align, with the word of God. And you see it, in the push for, transgender issues, where biological realities are questioned, in the rise of the mental health crisis that we have in our country. When you move away from God, you end up with what we had over the past 4 years. And to be honest with you, prior to that, we're probably 60 years of this. And look at where we are. Look at what's implemented or what's been implemented in our country. And honestly, if you're a believer, consider listening to the entire prayer breakfast speech. Even I was like, whoa, this man, he actually cares. And it didn't sound fake. It didn't sound phony. And this is why the left is absolutely losing their mind. The Democrats, they are the anti-God party. They have moved away from it. Even the people that call themselves pastors, even the people that call themselves, leaders, in the faith, it obviously isn't the proper faith. But what we do know is that, the devil can quote scriptures with the best of them. We know this. These Democrats, man, they have gone insane with their rhetoric and their ideology. They've really become the anti-religion, anti-God, and honestly, I don't want to say anti-religion, anti-Christianity party, because they'll push, some of these other things. They'll push some of these other things, but these people have really been pushing secularism, to the extreme. These people are anti-woman, promoting policies that some argue undermine women's spaces in sports with, transgender inclusion. And They're anti-family with their stance on traditional family structures being quote unquote outdated or oppressive. They've completely lost touch with what many Americans hold dear, what many Americans believe. And guess what? That's why they lost, and that's why they're losing. That's why they lost, and that's why they're losing. When you're seen as attacking the very fabric of what many Americans believe, in which is faith, family, and the recognition of biological truths, you're not just losing votes, man. You're bound to lose the culture war at some point or another. I don't know if you guys recall, I don't know how many of you guys watch football, but that ad that ran during college football and NFL season, that ad about, Kamala Harris supporting, inmates and illegal immigrants to come over here and get, quote unquote, gender affirming care. That was one of the most diabolical ads that I had seen in history, in the history of elections, of an election cycle. I hadn't seen anything like that. And I remember the first time I saw the ad, I'm at one of my buddy's house. We're watching the games. The ad comes on, and we're normally like during the commercials, we're normally talking trash. But the commercial came on, and we're listening. We're like, huh? And we all just kind of stopped and started, and we're looking at the TV and we're listening like, wait, is this really happening? Is this really happening? And then I recall shortly after, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks after the fact, Kamala Harris, she gets interviewed, she gets asked about it, and she doesn't deny it. She didn't refute it at all. And that's when I knew. I was like, well, I'm not gonna say that's when I knew, but that is one of the reasons. That's somewhat when I knew that there's no way that she can win. But that right there, I think, opened a lot of people's eyes to how far removed these people are from reality and what the average American actually thinks and believes. To be honest with you, I mean, people are sick and tired of the rhetoric, and they're sick and tired of stuff like this. Check this out right here, man.
They need to start normalizing not wanting children because of climate change. The planet is dying. Everything's on fire. Sea levels are rising. Natural resources are being used up. It's not fair for kids to live on a planet destroyed by the people before them.
This is crazy. This is crazy. That's the that's the kooky characters that basically are supporting this Democrat Party. Yeah. The planet isn't dying, but let's just say for sake of argument that that's true. Not having kids is the fix? Really? Not bringing new life into this world, raising them well? And then, hey, maybe they'll get a chance to fix a lot of this stuff. No, these people are anti-civilization, anti-human. That's the actual problem. Saying that you shouldn't have kids, no, demanding that you don't have kids because of climate change. Really? I mean, it's lunacy. And it's not, and it's not just missing the point, it's throwing away the future. And if we believe the planet is in trouble, the solution isn't to stop having children. It's to raise a generation that's more environmentally aware, more innovative, and more dedicated to healing our planet than we ever were. This anti-human sentiment, this idea that humanity is the plague, I mean, it's deeply flawed, man. It's deeply flawed. We're not the problem. We are the solution. And every child born today has the potential to be a part of the solution, to innovate, to lead, to change the courses that we're on. And to suggest otherwise is to give up on progress, on hope, on the very essence of what makes us human, which is our ability to adapt, to improve, and ultimately to love. I mean, think about it. If leaders like Trump are finding strength, in faith and personal transformations after facing life-threatening situations, isn't there a lesson in resilience and hope there? It's about facing challenges head on, not running from them by not having children. We need to foster a generation that's not just surviving, but thriving and working towards making the world better. But I am so glad to see Trump taking a stand against the craziness, against this woke nonsense, against the people that are, anti-God, anti anything that, a follower of Christ would be interested in or be with or be for. I'm glad to see us getting back to the America that we once knew, one that doesn't shy away from adversity, but meets it with unwavering faith and determination. And here we are facing these lunatics on the left head on, who push an agenda that's not just anti-human, but anti-American. They want us to believe that our existence is the problem, that our children are a liability. But you can't believe in that, man. I personally 100% reject the narrative. We believe in the promise of America, in the power of faith, family, and freedom. And Trump's transformation shows us that even in the darkest of times, faith can light the way, guiding us towards a future where we're not just surviving, but leading with a purpose. This is a call to action for all of us. It's time for us to unite under the banner, of faith. It's time for us to unite under the word of God, under the belief that our country, under God, can overcome any challenge. It's time for us to stand firm, raise our children with the values that made America great, ensuring that we're equipped to tackle, the environmental and social and political issues of tomorrow with the same vigor and faith that we're showing today. And in this era of change, where leaders like Trump are showing us the path, and showing us a path of faith and resilience, let's not let the defeatist attitudes of the left dim our light. And instead, let's shine brighter, believing in a future where our faith, our families, and our country are not just preserved, but are thriving. And this isn't about politics, or it's not just about politics. It's honestly about the soul of our nation. But I want to hear what you guys have to say about this, man, in the comment section, in the chat. I appreciate everybody pulling up. It's impromptu, but I'm trying to figure out, just so you guys know, I'm trying to figure out the best times to do these live streams and to have these types of conversations with you guys. I'm trying to figure out what works best. I've done the late afternoon, afternoon time frame yesterday, which I thought, we had a good turnout. I've also done, that 7:30, 8 o'clock. The turnouts normally aren't that great during that time frame, but I do appreciate everybody that pulls up at that time. I've tried later in the day, turnout not great. Friday night was a really good turnout. We did a Friday evening last week, I think 9 or 10 o'clock, which is something I think I may incorporate. But I kind of like the morning time. I don't know about you guys, but I do like the morning time. These morning time chats, and maybe we'll look at doing something along the lines of a morning show opposed to that 7:30, 8 o'clock or something along those lines, man. But I appreciate you guys pulling up. But do you guys see the transformation, in Trump as a sign of hope for our country? Do you see the transformation, for a lot of people in this country as a sign of hope? I see it. There are a lot of people that are turning away from this evil. They're turning away from the evil cabal known as the Democratic Party. A lot of people's eyes are being opened. The scales are being removed. A lot. I got another question. How do you guys feel about raising the next generation, with these values in mind? Are we ready to stand against the tide of negativity from the left, to keep believing in the promise of America? I want to hear from you guys in the comment section, man. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section, man. Again, I got a couple super chats, and then there's a couple of people I just want to shout out. Kenny G, P.I. Styles. As you can see, I got the shirt on today, brother. I got to get another one of these. I need at least 2 more. So shout out to Kenny G from PIStyle.com or PIStyle.store. Shout out to you, brother, for the $2 super stream. Turns out good on the stream. Appreciate you pulling up. Turn out good on the stream. Absolutely. Shout out to Lawnmower Detective. I love what you do, brother. God bless you. God bless you as well. I love each and every one of you guys, man. I appreciate everybody that supports the channel and pulls up, man. And God bless each and every one of you guys. Shout out to Mike Fitz for the $4.99 super sticker. Appreciate the love, man. I definitely appreciate the love. I kind of like this morning show here, man. This is kind of good. So I'm trying to figure out what makes the most sense. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now, and trying to figure out the dates or not dates and times, but times that make sense. I like this 9 o'clock in the morning, man. This is good. This is good. But I want to make sure I show a couple of people some love. Shout out to Zephyr K9. Appreciate you pulling up today, being a mod. As always, I know some of the other mods, they are working. If there's anybody that would like to be a mod, shoot me an email. I need your email address, but I also need your Google, or not Google, but your YouTube name, whatever your YouTube name, because that's the way I find you to place you and make you a mod. So I do need that from you. Shout out to you, Coco's Content. Appreciate you pulling up today, sister. I appreciate you supporting the channel. You've been rocking with me for a little bit, and you're absolutely right. That Easter Sunday, trends, whatever it was, so completely disrespectful, man. Completely disrespectful. But I'm a firm believer that when people show you who they are, you got to believe them. And these people from the Democrat Party, and there are some others, from the other side as well. I don't want to just kick the Democrats, because we got some rhinos, we got some Republicans as well, that they're right in line with these people. They're right in line with them. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm a firm believer at this point, based off of what I've been learning, is that they're 2 wings of the same bird. It's a difference between the Republicans and the MAGA movement. I think there is a difference. And as the days, weeks, months, and years progress, we're going to see more and more that there is a difference between those quote unquote traditional, staunch, establishment Republicans, and those that are a part of the MAGA movement, or those that have joined and gotten on board with the MAGA movement. There's a difference. There's definitely a difference. Shout out to Paula Albright. Appreciate you pulling up today, sister. As always, let me see if I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody from the ARP family that joined today. I did get Kenny G. TJ in the building. Appreciate you, brother, pulling up. All right, man. As always, man, I appreciate everybody pulling up, man. We got 336 people in the building. Hope you guys hit the like button for me. I appreciate that, man. I got another live stream. It'll be probably this afternoon. We'll jump out there and we'll do this, but I do like this morning time. I do like this. And Bear Jones, you're absolutely right, man. The Boule been selling us out. The Boule been selling us out since the W.E.B. Du Bois days, early 1900s. You know what I'm saying? They've been selling us out for a long time. What's going on, Heather Munoz? Appreciate you, ARP family member. She says the devil is the accuser and the liar, and you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Shout out to you, Fred Stevens. Appreciate you pulling up today. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. From the Kenny Cooper in the building. What's going on with you, brother? Good morning, y'all. It's early morning here in Nevada, 6:32 in the morning. You're not a morning person. I know you out there in that truck, man. Be safe out there, man. I know you crisscrossing the country on a week-to-week basis, man. So we'll definitely keep you in our prayers, man, to just make sure you stay safe out there on those streets. Kenny Cooper, man. Appreciate you pulling up, brother. Just make sure I didn't miss anybody else from the ARP family. Yep, I see that. Traveling across I-80. Yep. So be safe out there, man. Thank you, Lee Jun Fan. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name properly as well. Appreciate you subscribing to the channel, man. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the family. Appreciate you supporting, man. Definitely. All right, I don't think I missed everybody, man. But appreciate everybody that pulled up. You know, if you'd like to support the channel, obviously, super chat, super stickers. Those are great way to support the channel. You know, we're fighting an uphill battle, you know, especially when, you know, you're on this side of the aisle and you're on this side of things. But we're going to continue to make it do what it do. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out best times to jump out there and do these types of live streams. I do like this morning time. I thought this was a, you know, pretty good time. Obviously, we got a pretty good turnout. Hopefully, we'll continue to grow. You know, if I can kind of if I can get to a point where I can say, okay, hey, let's do this at this time at 9 a.m. Stay consistent, man. I can get my show and everything together, you know, in the evening to be prepared for the morning time. So I think that is something that we'll look into in the very, very near future to kind of making, you know, more of a permanent time, you know, but I definitely like it, man. But Kenny G says he liked the morning stream. Okay, that's what's up. Appreciate that. Heather Munoz, huge difference. Sandra Dudley, appreciate you pulling up. Kathy Clinton says 6:30 in the morning. So what are you guys doing at 6:30 in the morning? Are y'all getting up? Y'all in the gym? Are y'all getting ready for work? What's going on? Alan Parker Reed, he says good time. Okay. This time works for you as well, Zephyr? Okay, perfect. So mornings and afternoons might be worth a try. I do agree with you. I like the 9 a.m. I thought that it worked out today. Yesterday, I did a 12 or 12:30, you know, mid-afternoon, which was great. Oh, you're up at 3 in the morning. Oh, Lord. Oh, man. Oh, man. But yeah, I appreciate you guys pulling up, man. I'm gonna get out of here. Keep God first in your life. Stay prayed up. It is crazy out here, but we are fighting a good fight, man. And you know, I appreciate you guys pulling up this morning, man. I'm gonna catch up with you all a little later on today. Peace.
Vibes so raw, can't hide the